All right, everybody. Mike Heck here from MMAfighting.com, reacting to some big news. We've been waiting all day long. The UFC teased this morning that UFC CEO and President Dana White was going to hop on Instagram and make some big announcements. And we waited and waited and waited and waited. And about 25 minutes ago, Dana goes on Instagram and announces two big title fights for UFC 316, which goes down June 7th at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The main event is for the Bantamweight Championship. It is a rematch. Merab Dvalishvili will defend against the former champion Sugar Sean O'Malley. And in the co-main event, another Bantamweight title fight. This time, the ladies will battle for 135-pound World Championship gold as Julianna Pena puts her title on the line for the first time since defeating Raquel Pennington, and she will defend against the PFL multi-time millionaire Kayla Harrison. So there you go. Those are the big fights for UFC 316. Also of note, we have a new main event for UFC Kansas City. Some rumbling, some rumor and innuendo, some social media chatter that Jamal Hill was not going to be able to compete in the main event against Khalil Roundtree Jr. UFC announces new main event, Ian Machado Gary versus Carlos Praches. If you watched UFC Mexico this past Saturday, we found out that Carlos Praches versus Jeff Neal for UFC 314 no longer happening. John Anik said big news potentially coming for Carlos Praches. And there he goes, another main event, this time in front of a big crowd in Kansas City. So there you go, some big news. And joining me to react to this news is Mr. No Grayer himself, the hot take kid, the one and only, the big booper, the climber, Jed Meshew. Jed,
Hi guys.
How are you, my friend?
I'm so good. I had all day. It was a terrific day, Mike. I woke up at the gym. Tweet comes in. Hey, be on the lookout. Big announcement coming. It's April Fool's Day, so the guard's up. Any number of, you got to have the guard up on April Fool's Day. Anything can happen. Day goes on. Guard didn't need to be up. Nothing's happening. We got a big air ball happening. Waiting. Clock out. I'm like, all right, work is done. Gonna go make this dinner. Got to get some food in the belly. 3 minutes later, Dana White comes and drops, hey, guess what? Dana White privilege is real, and here it is. And also the Julianna Pena Kayla Harrison fight, which has been rumored for a hot minute, and is a very good fight. That's happening too, but Sean O'Malley's getting to run it. F your chicken, Jed. You don't get to eat that because we got to talk about this.
So, as you mentioned, you're at the gym, lifting the weights, waiting. You see the tweet. We waited, what, 10 hours? 8, 9, 10 hours? Many hours. Was this worth the wait, getting these two fights? And did you expect something else?
I expect better. I will say, not to peel the curtain back too much, there were rumors about the Prates thing happening. Obviously, the rumors that Prates was going to get something big. Ian Machado Gary comes out and teases something. There had been rumblings that the Kansas City main event was in jeopardy. People started to piece together that this could be it. And if that had been the extent of the big announcement, that would have gone over like a wet fart, like just a lead balloon crash to the ground. Getting the 316 main and co-main, a double title fight offering, it's worth saying, hey, big announcement coming, but like this is the smallest big announcement, right? Because the announcement everyone wants is the announcement that will never happen because the fight is never going to happen. It would have been legitimately good theater if the UFC did announce Tom Aspinall, John Jones today, if it was real, because I would be on this post show right now being like, it's on MMAfighting.com for the first time ever. Don't trust it. It's not real. This is an elaborate April Fool's. Instead, they give us fights that no one would even think are an April Fool's because I won't say they all make sense. One of them very much does not make sense, but we knew that was coming, kind of knew where this was going. And it is good to have the official clarity here of these things and, some more title fights to talk about. So you can never be that upset about it, but we could have done this sooner than the 10-hour wait, I guess, is really where I land on.
Yeah, we could have done this April 2nd, March 31st, any other time.
Could have just done it in the early afternoon. Like, oh, Dana's going to make an announcement, and a couple hours later make the announcement. Like, we didn't need the speculation mill going. Just be like, all right, we're doing this now. Cool.
Yeah, just drop it. Like, just drop the posters. Like, this is, I don't know. This just wasn't like that groundbreaking moment. When you tease something like that, the big boss is coming up later today. Even if it's not John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, give us the International Fight Week main event. Give us a couple of fights for that. But none of this is surprising. We knew both of these fights were happening. It's just a matter of when. And I guess if we're going to be positive about this, now it kind of opens the door for what International Fight Week could look like. It eliminates some options, if you will. So perhaps we see Islam Makhachev. Perhaps we see, I'm not going to say it, John Jones and Tom Aspinall.
There are two outcomes
chance
for International Fight Week. There's one that is going to happen. I've been saying forever. And there's one that I won't say won't happen, but seems unlikely, though many people believe it could happen. So International Fight Week is going to be Dricus versus Hamzat. Like, I've been saying that for 5 months now, however many months are in this year. That's just what's going to be International Fight Week. And there's maybe a small chance that Islam versus Ilya is there. I still don't believe that is going to happen. I do not think Islam will accept a fight with Ilya Topuria, barring some major incentive. And so until I am proven wrong, I will be dying on the hill that Dricus du Plessis, Hamzat Chimaev is the International Fight Week main event.
As our gambling expert, Jed, what do you think the opening lines are going to look like? Like, if you haven't had a chance to look at them, Merab's probably favored. I'm sure Kayla Harrison's going to be favored, right?
Ooh, Kayla Harrison's definitely going to be favored. Merab's got to be like a minus 400 favorite. It's given the first fight. Like, that's the thing. This is the fight that's bad, right? Like, I had started to talk myself into, and I didn't really believe this would happen, but I started to think, like, it honestly makes the most sense right now. And because we're coming off UFC Mexico, Mike, where a major talking point is, well, what the hell do you do with Brandon Moreno? Like, can't really fight for the belt, but UFC Mexico or Noche UFC 320, like, you want him to fight for the belt, I guess he can. You know what solves all this? If Pants is the guy who gets the shot, he's like, hey, Pantoja, you've got wins over like the 4 next available title challengers right now, multiple wins over some of them. Screw it, man. Why don't you go up and fight Merab, who doesn't have any new blood to fight either? This is like one of the rare times a champ fight makes a ton of sense. And then you can do, all right, well, he's doing that, so we will have the Brandon's 3 match for the interim belt at UFC 320 or whatever. And now that's not necessarily off the table. It still could happen, but it's just like, that just would have been better because the O'Malley rematch is just garbage. Like, I know we knew it was coming. Doesn't matter. Like, if, knowing something is happening doesn't make it any better. If the school bully says, I'm going to kick your ass at 2:30, it's not better that you walk out there at 2:30 and get your ass beat. Like, it's worse. You have to spend the whole time being like, well, this is going to suck. I don't even want to eat my pudding cup today because Milo's about to whip the shit out of me after like, no. And that's what this is. This sucks. Nobody wants it. I am super proud of our chat right now because they're all like, this is garbage and terrible, because that's the answer. This is garbage and terrible. It is one of the worst title shots that has been awarded in recent UFC history. And that's saying something. Are they bending over backwards to help freaking Sean O'Malley out? Like, and Sean O'Malley is a good fighter. I'm not here to say he's not a good fighter, but buddy, like, you are giving him more favors than you gave Connor, and you gave Connor a soft touch for a while there. Like, it is really shocking just how much leeway they are giving him, because, like, why? Like, why is this happening, Mike? Explain it to me.
We know why it's happening. They are in the Sean O'Malley business. They feel like he can be the guy to move this division forward. I don't know why. Like, he's popular. He is a star within the audience the UFC is trying to attract, but not like the hardcore MMA fan. Like, We ain't selling this. Sean O'Malley's not selling a million pay-per-views. He just isn't. By the way, my favorite commenter is Jameer, who just says, damn, y'all so negative, when he's maybe the most negative commenter that we have on our website. So I think that's kind of hilarious. By the way, current betting odds on Harrison Pena, Kayla Harrison, a minus 600 favorite over Julianna Pena.
That's a little higher than I would have thought.
I might just throw a little.
I would have thought they were both like -4, frankly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what O'Malley in Merab is right now. I don't see anything, but yeah, Kayla minus 600. Kayla, Julianna coming back at plus 450. So yeah, that's UFC 316, and that's what it looks like right now. Newark, New Jersey, getting more bantamweight title fights. It's yeah, that's just what Newark gets. They just get bantamweight title fights, or just not the greatest cards.
I'm really interested to see how the reaction to this, because obviously our chat right now is being pretty down on this. Again, I think justifiably, I'm very down on this. I think the hardcore fan base is going to reject this outright. The Sean O'Malley part, the Julianna Pena, Kayla Harrison, which we don't need to give short shrift to. That's the fight that was supposed to happen. We've known it. Frankly, it probably took a little longer than it should have to get here. That's the fight. I have no qualms with that. If Julianna Pena wins, Damon Martin's head might explode, and we should all be sad about it. But like, if she wins, she wins, and she deserves it. She did the thing. Good for her. And if Kayla wins, then we've done it. We've crowned Kayla, which was sort of the goal of her coming over in general. And now we can talk about maybe Amanda Nunes coming back. Like, that is a legitimately good fight. I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm excited to watch it. I'm interested in that matchup, because I do think that fight's probably closer to -600 suggests. But I want to see how the broader public reacts to this, because people are probably just going to show up because everybody goes to UFC events all the time. But like, if I'm living in Newark, I'm not shelling out $1,000 to go get floor seats to this dog shit rematch. Like, I just go watch the first one. It's going to be the same fight. It ain't going to be different. So like, I am really interested to see what the public reaction is to this. And if it gets to a point where Dana has to come out and defend it, because at some point he is going to get asked about it, and he'll, be promoter mean about it. But like, I'm just interested. I want to see what real people, not like the hardcores who are populating this show right now, say.
Yeah. The good news, I guess, is one, Merab has the Long Island Longo ties, and it's not that far away.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Two, despite Sean O'Malley not selling pay-per-views, he is very popular at the gate. Like, covering the Boston card at 292, Sean was over like Rover, man. Like, those fans will cheer for him. They will be there for him. It doesn't translate to pay-per-view buys, but it does translate to a gate. And I don't know if Julianna Pena and Kayla Harrison sells a ticket. Doesn't really matter, but I'm sure they'll load it up with a lot of New York fighters, a lot of Jersey fighters. Jim Miller, successful at 314. I could see him fighting on this card. Like, guys like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. I gotta say, I am very intrigued by the new UFC Kansas City main event, Jed Meshew. Carlos Paraches fighting Ian Machado Gary in the main event. Love this fight. And Ian Machado Gary taking a pretty big risk here, if we're being honest. He was in a great position with the UFC. He did them a favor with the Shavkat fight. Did not win the Shavkat fight. Won a lot of fans. Got the moral victory, I guess, in a lot of respects, because he gave Shavkat such a tough fight. And now he's taking a big step back in competition against a surging, dangerous guy who's just kind of running through everybody right now, when he could probably get a fight with a Colby or an Usman or somebody of that ilk at this moment. But instead, he's taking this opportunity on less than a month's notice to fight Carlos Praches out of nowhere. So your reaction to this, and does this gain Ian Machado Gary even more fans?
I don't know if it gains fans. People just hate his ass. And I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I feel like he gets hated probably more than is proportional with the personality traits that people dislike about him. I'm not here to tell you I'm like a big Ian Machado Gary stan, but I think people do over hate him for reasons that aren't good, but like you can't deny that he's a very good fighter and the way he competes is good. This is dope. Like some people may know this. My sister lives in Kansas City. I went to the last one. I just straight up was like, I'm not going to go to this one because I didn't care enough about the Hill versus Roundtree fight. Like it's fine. It's certainly not bad, right? Like it would have been interesting, but I'm a lot more interested in checking flights right now and seeing about going out to KC for this one because this fight is really fun. I don't know that this is a huge risk for Ian. I think it is, I guess, a little bit, but like you're getting this is cachet, right? Like he's getting the clout of saying, dude, F it on a month. I'll fight Carlos Pratis. I don't care. YOLO. And like maybe he gets Colby or maybe he gets Usman, but I don't know. Kamaru Usman's fought once in the last like 6 years or something. That's a hard guy to want to wait for. And I think much more likely he would have gotten somebody like Joaquin Buckley. And I think this feels like a parallel move to Buckley. Maybe not meritocratically, given the run Buckley's on where he's ranked, but like more people are talking about Carlos Pratis than they are about Joaquin Buckley in general. And so I think that this is a fairly savvy move of, okay, I'll do the UFC another favor. I'll step in. I frankly think that and I haven't done any real diving into this fight. My gut reaction is it's a really good matchup for Ian Machado Gary. But like my thoughts are, man, that's going to be fun. I really like watching Carlos Pratis fight, and Ian Machado Gary is very, very good. If Pratis wins, book the man for a title fight at some point next year. And if Ian Machado Gary wins, he's sort of in the mix, right? The loss to Shavkat is a bit prohibitive, but not entirely. So really good main event, really interesting. I'm sure they'll do well to sell it on fight week. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun fight. This is the best of the fights announced.
Yeah, because Ian didn't want to fight till like July or International Fight Week maybe, and now he takes this fight, doing the UFC another solid. So it's nice to have the UFC kind of paying back favors, and now he's got two to kind of work on. And if he goes out there and gets a win, availability is your best friend. If Bilal goes out and beats JDM and wants to turn around relatively quickly, and Shavkat's not ready for October or whenever Bilal would be ready to defend again, could go up there, could go to the winner of this fight. So, and I know Buckley's up there too, but he's probably gonna have to fight again. And so interesting stuff.
Buckley needs to be trying to get Kamaru Usman now. I just thought Buckley and Gary were going to fight. I thought that was where we were going because that fight would have made sense. Like they were supposed to do it, and now let's do it, right? Like that. So I just thought that that's where that was going. Now Buckley really needs to put his eggs in the Kamaru Usman basket, or else he's just sort of the last dog at the bowl.
Does he try for Sean Brady?
I guess. Sean Brady, you know Sean Brady better than I. You speak to him a lot more often than I've ever spoken to him. On his podcast, he did not seem at all interested in fighting anybody that wasn't Hamzat, a title fight, or maybe Kamaru Usman. And even Usman felt like that was a maybe for him. He was basically like, I'm the number one dude. I get to run it back with Bilal, or I guess the winner if Jack Della beats him, or I'll fight Shavkat for a number one contender, or maybe I'd take a former champion on my resume. So I just straight up don't think Sean Brady takes the Joaquin Buckley fight.
He's in an interesting spot right now. I mean, every day that goes by and every welterweight fight that happens, like I don't think Kamaru Usman has a realistic sense on what is actually happening right now, because him not fighting Shavkat and him watching Ian Gary fight Shavkat, there's no way he wasn't sitting on the couch watching that fight being like, son of a bitch, I should have taken that fight, because he might have won. And then look at where he could be right now. But you just can't get a title fight on a 3-fight losing streak. You just can't.
And you haven't fought in 2 years or whatever the hell it is at this point.
Yeah. In the losses are obviously excusable, but there's just too many guys right now. And he's just falling further and further behind with all this stuff. So welterweight's interesting. Bantamweight, we'll see how this irons out in June at UFC 316. We'll see if Julianna Pena can pull off another massive upset and defeat Kayla Harrison. Perhaps she can get Amanda Nunes back for a trilogy fight. If Kayla wins, I think there's a very good chance of it. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Weibencraft saying, I think Merab will try and finish this time. You think that, buddy? You keep hoping.
Well, yeah, listen, New Jersey.
You think
kind of
Merab's
brings
going to
out
try
the,
and do something he's never done in his UFC career? Maybe.
I mean,
Keep
he did
on
finish
hoping.
Marlon Moraes. He finished Marlon Moraes.
I'm being hyperbolic, Mike. Come on.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, that is the news. We're hoping for maybe something a little bit better, a little something that we didn't see coming, but all in all, it's fine. Like, this is just it's fine. It's the classic good, not great. And
Moves
that's okay.
the ball downfield.
Yes. And if you didn't love this announcement, and most people in the chat did not love it, the good news is we are less than 2 weeks away from UFC 314.
Best card of the year.
Fight card absolutely slaps. I'm very excited. I
Knock
just
on
cut
wood.
a custom cold open for the watch party. Very Miami centric. So I'm very excited about that. There's a lot to be excited about right now. Hopefully we get some International Fight Week news coming sooner rather than later. And don't forget, everybody, yes, the UFC is back to the world's most famous Apex, but don't you dare forget the PFL World Tournament kicks off on Thursday.
Right.
Jed Meshew,
Cover
get
it,
excited.
baby.
Even though every fighter who is like the number one seed in every division seems to be out of all the tournaments now, it's just, it's the toughest tournament in sports, Jed.
Real talk. I won't say names. One of our editors who does our schedule was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry." I was like, "What did you do?" I had a specific request for someone. I was like, "Hey, like I need this off or whatever." It's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Yeah, so for the next 4 weeks, you're covering PFL on Thursdays." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine," because I don't mind it. I enjoy the PFL Thursday cards. You say it all the time, Mike. Like the Thursday card, it's not their PFL. It won't be great, but it is different. You get some weekday fights. And so I'm ready to lock in for another PFL season, even if all the best fighters aren't competing in the seasons anymore.
Are you ready for an 11 p.m. main card coming up next week?
I mean, I'm not stoked about it, but I'll be prepared by the time that happens.
Well, we are getting prepared to head on out of here. Jed, enjoy your delicious dinner. I will essentially do the same. And it's been real, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this breaking news reaction. Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2 is official for UFC 316. Julianna Pena versus Kayla Harrison is official for UFC 316. And Ian Machado Gary versus Carlos Praches, official new main event for UFC Kansas City. So thank you very much. For Jed, I am Mike Keck. Hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later on.
Love y'all. I have some chicken and broccoli with my name on it.